Hello, everyone. Welcome to Biology 120 here at SNHU. I will be your instructor, Dr. Janie Sigmon, for this course, and I just want to tell you a few things. Here's an introduction to the course and to me. I've written up my bio in the My Instructor announcement, so go and read that. It gives you some of my background, but one thing that I want to emphasize to you is that I love biology, and I always have. From the time that I was a little child, I loved biology. Everything having to do with life, every organism, every ecosystem, whatever it is, I have loved it. And I decided when I went off to college, I was the first person in my family to go to college, and so nobody could give me any advice because they had never had that experience. I decided that when I went to college that I would major in biology. Now the thing was, man, so many people ask me, well, what are you going to do with that? What are you going to do with a biology degree? I don't know, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure out a way to make a living at biology. And sure enough, I've been able to all this time. I had several state jobs, one county job in Texas, doing vector control. So I was controlling animals that carry diseases. I've done research. I've done teaching. Yeah. I've done all kinds of things that have to do with biology. And I have been a very lucky person because this is my passion. I figured out how to make a living at it. Every job that I've ever had in biology, I have loved. So let that be a lesson to you. Don't choose the easiest major. Don't choose one where you'll think you'll make a bazillion dollars at doing this job. Find your passion and follow it, and you will be happy for the rest of your life. With that being said, part of me is my hobby. My hobby is digital photography, and you'll see examples of it right here. That's the seashell from Seabrook Island, where I love to vacation. In the first week of this term, I will be there for a few days. And the middle picture, this is from a wildlife management area very close to my house, and that is a swallowtail butterfly. And then that picture on the right is a red deer from Scotland. I took a nature tour in Scotland. I went with my sister, and we did a 9-day nature tour in Scotland, and it was absolutely magnificent. I had to save up my money, especially after I retired, and I've got a part-time job, this job. I had to save up my money to go, but oh, it was absolutely magnificent. So, what are you going to learn about in this course? You're going to learn about the tiniest pieces of life, which would be atoms, then molecules. And then you're going to learn about the chemistry of life, which is metabolism. And you're going to hear a lot about that in January, aren't you? When everybody starts talking about eating better, going on diets, getting back into exercise, all that type of thing, you'll be hearing about metabolism, right? Well, metabolism really means all the biochemistry that's happening in any organism, every bit of it, from consuming food to burning up that energy to making new molecules. That's metabolism, so we'll cover that. Genetics. Genetics is very important. Your DNA encodes your traits. And actually, there's a little bit more to it. Now we understand that there's control that is a little bit higher than that level of just the traits in DNA, because things in cells and even stressors in cells determine which genes get turned on and off, and that's called epigenetics. We will cover that. We'll talk about nature versus nurture. That's a very important discussion, has been around for hundreds of years, actually. We'll talk about ecology. We'll talk about ecosystems. Those are terribly important, all the way to the biosphere. And the biosphere is every part of the earth out up into the atmosphere, all the way down into the depths of the ocean where we find anything that's alive. That's the biosphere. And of course, we as human beings, in our wonderful ways, have been affecting the biosphere with our activities. And it seems like it's just going to get worse. This past November, we hit, not this November, last November, we hit 8 billion people on the planet. And in 2050, it's estimated that we will hit 9 billion people living on this planet. So, which direction are we going in? How are we going to fit all these people on the land that we have? How are we going to spread out the resources so all these people can survive? So we'll be talking about all that this term. Lots and lots of interesting topics. You will choose a topic. We will have some choices, and I'll get to those very quickly here. And you will do some research about that topic, and you'll make a paper and a presentation. The presentation will be due in week 7. Also, if you are taking the lab, I have taught the lab. I'm not teaching it this term, but I have taught the lab for Bio 120. And I will have some remarks and have some suggestions for you with your lab as we go along, because some weeks are more intensive in lab than other weeks, and I will be telling you that. Like week 6 is very intensive, and you have to start that experiment ahead of time. You'd think, you have a day or two to do experiments. No. You're growing plants, and so you have to get all of those grown before you can even write your report. So I'll be giving you some hints and suggestions as we go along too. Plus, that lab follows the same material that we're covering in lecture. And so if you need to read a chapter on ecology in lecture, that will be the same information that you cover in lab. I'll be mentioning things like this. And with that being said, I want to encourage you, if you have any issues, if you're having any trouble whatsoever, you need a time extension, you need some help, you have no earthly idea how to get started on an assignment, whatever it is, please email me, m.sigmon@snhu.edu. That's my email address here. I am very responsive. I will help you. That is why I went into teaching, to help you be successful, to help you learn this biology, and to help you move on to the next stage, whatever your next stage is, finishing up your degree, moving out into careers, trying to get internships, whatever it is, I am here to help you. So please do call on me if you need anything. All right. Welcome to this first week in Bio 120. We've got things going on already, but I did want to just introduce myself in the course to you with this welcome video. Let me know if you need anything.